Simryn Gill, welcome to 7:30.
Thank you, Sarah.
First of all, how is Khaled Sabsabi since the decision?
I've spoken to Khaled a couple of times. He's obviously very hurt and disappointed. But Khaled's also very angry, which is, I think many of us stand alongside him in that. Many of his colleagues and other artists, we feel with him.
Is it your view, Simryn, that Khaled Sabsabi was a good choice for the Venice Biennale to represent Australia?
Khaled was a stunning choice. Khaled has worked a long time in what he does, and he's thoughtful. He's a very interesting and modest man who works deeply with anything that he takes on. I think it was a stunning choice. It took many breaths away with excitement, and we were very much looking forward to what he and Michael would take to Venice.
Now, and you're referring there to Michael D'Agostino, the curator, who was going to be a part of that presentation. Now, you're putting your name to this letter with the quote that I read out earlier and a number of other statements. How much damage does this do to the artistic community, and what led you to want to put your name to a letter?
It's a good question. You know, you take your time in thinking about putting your name to things. What's happened has taken so much trust away from the process of how things are done. In particular, if we talk about the process of selecting for Venice, the Australia Council, or Creative Australia as it is now, has had in recent years put together a thorough, excellent and very democratic is the word, but a process that took into account so many voices. And Khaled is the second artist, I believe, maybe the third, to be chosen in this way. And they've undermined themselves, Creative Australia, by having put together such an excellent way of getting to the person who would go to Venice. And then they honoured Khaled, and then they dishonoured him. So in a real sense, they've dishonoured themselves. And, yeah, taken a lot away from us.
We got to this point, as we understand it, because there hasn't been a proper explanation yet, because of some questions raised about some of Khaled Sabsabi's earlier works and some of its content, particularly featuring Hassan Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, and some work about 9/11. I'm not asking you to comment on those specific works, but should any subject be off-limit for artists?
I think the question, in a way, has to be framed into what we do as artists. And I couldn't put it better than how the Australia Council described what Khaled does. And this is from the original press release when he was selected. They say, for Sabsabi, creating and exhibiting art has been a way to bring people together in immersive and engaging experiences. Through his work, Sabsabi explores human collectiveness, questions of identity politics and ideology, inviting audiences to do the same. What we do as artists is to peel back the skin, peel back curtains. We don't make opinions. We ask questions and we show you where things are now. So Khaled works from media images, and he, in that work that I think we're referring to, and they're put forward in a way that we have our feet on our ground and we see where we are. What we do best as artists is to ask you to think and to stop and to slow down, to make work that makes you want to think, that makes you want to keep looking. And Khaled exemplary in the way that he does that.
Is it your view that, along with writing this letter criticising Creative Australia, that the pavilion at Venice, the Venice Biennale in 2026, should remain empty?
It's not about a view of whether or not it remains empty. I don't believe there will be an artist who want to step into shoes that have been vacated in this way. It's a very public forum, and everybody globally now in the art world knows what has happened and how this has happened. And so it becomes, for the next edition of it, a poison place to take up.
Simryn Gill, thank you very much indeed for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you, Sarah.